He was a little tight before he went out to BP. When he came in, he said it was a little bit tighter, and we decided it was probably best not to play him. Um, whether it's a lat or an oblique, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what it is. But and we said, let's just wait to see how you feel tomorrow. And if you feel better, you'll be a player.
Is there a lot of concern right now, or not until you wait a couple days?
No, I don't think so. We're hoping it just maybe spasmed up a little bit, and that's all it is. But we probably really won't know until tomorrow.
As far as tonight's game, what made Kazmir so good?
He pitches. I mean, he lives on the edges. He changes speeds really well. We had a chance in the fifth to tie it up, and when we didn't, they came out and got two in the bottom of the fifth, and that was the big swing.
How much do you think that delay hurt Kuroda? Do you think that affected him at all on the mound?
It's hard to say. I don't think it really helps a guy to have a 40-minute delay. At one point, actually, right before the lights came on, Dan Iasonia was walking over to call New York because he was told they wouldn't come on. And all of a sudden they came on, so it's hard to figure.
So how much longer would you have waited and brought Kuroda back?
We probably could have waited another 10, 15 minutes. He was playing catch and staying loose, but we knew that, his pitch count wouldn't go real deep.
How was that, Byron? Did you notice it? Or who
The lights? I said something in the second inning, not to the umpires. I was saying stuff to our guys, those lights always off, and nothing really happened, I think, until Bob Melvin came out. So it's unfortunate, but, it happens from time to time.
So they were off the whole game?
They were never on.
They were never on.
So which makes me question why someone didn't notice that it's here every day.
How do you think Kuroda was tonight as a whole?
He was okay. You look at the issues that he got into. I think 2 walks scored. A couple balls we don't catch behind home plate, and that's going to happen from time to time. Kind of set up the 2 runs for the second in the fifth for them. But I didn't think he threw that poorly. I thought he threw better, and the numbers are going to show.
Sean Ryan usually pretty good behind the plate. What happened in that inning?
It's just part of being a catcher. There are going to be those days, and you just got to move on and don't let it snowball.
So what about? I'm sorry, I thought you were done. I know he had a tough decision to make because he's got a fast runner there, but should Kelly have let that ball roll foul on?
From what it's a tough decision. I watched the ball roll down that line. It turned back fair the other day, so it's a tough decision.
What do you think of McCann's plays at first base?
He did a good job. A nice pick, 4 or 5 chances. Yeah, I know he had the one that got by him between his legs, but a nice diving stop. It's a pretty important play. So he did a nice job.
When you lose to Shearer's bat, how much more difficult does it become?
Well, it becomes difficult, and he's had success off of Kazmir too. He had the 2 RBIs the last time we faced him. It makes it more difficult, that's for sure. And that was one of the reasons that we said that we're not going to play you tonight because we don't want this to turn into something big.
When you use the word oblique, that raises the prospect that it could
Of course
be,
it does.
Yeah,
But
you send him for an MRI? Or
as of right now, no. Their doctor came over and looked at him, and he said, well, it could be a lat, it could be an oblique, it could be. There were 4 muscles that he named, so it's just kind of in an area where everything meets. So I think you'll have a better idea tomorrow.
You think you're inclined to keep him on the bench tomorrow just to give him the
Not
chance?
necessarily. If he tells me he feels good, I'll play him.
Did you say whether it was the right or left side?
Left.
You went with Sean there in that situation. Do you plan on using him a little earlier as he comes back?
No, I wasn't going to use Betanzas tonight, and I would have used Adam for a couple innings tonight. So in that situation, I wanted a guy that had the ability to strike people out, and that's why I went to him.
Either one of the fastballs across up?
I didn't ask. I think one was a split and one was a slider.
What do you think of this place, Joe?
Well, it is a good atmosphere to play in. I can tell you that. But, it's one of the older ballparks, and sometimes with older ballparks, you have some challenges.
Joe, was the possibility discussed, this is probably a stupid question, but I'll ask it anyway. If the lights had not come back on, was there enough light?
Yeah,
You could see them flying?
I think they were going to call New York and decide what was the best thing, and I don't know if they would have talked to the managers about it to think if we could play through it or not. but the lights came on, we never got to that point. But I'm sure, I mean, there's possibility that it would have been suspended till tomorrow. I'm sure that possibility existed.
Would you have been okay with playing through it with the lights on?
Well, when we stopped it, I still thought there was plenty of light. I can't tell you what it would have been when it got dark, because we never got to that point.
Did any players complain that it was
No.
dark?
No.
Glad you have a day game tomorrow.
Yeah.